going to go through this commission calculator real quick, and you can see that we've created a baseline goal on the left, and we've got an exceed your goal or a stretch goal on the right. So for conversation's sake, Cameron, we already went over part of your goals as an ISA, but give me just a little bit higher than that. What's a number?
Well, I was going to say $100,000, but that's already on the screen, isn't it?
100,000 is on the screen, but that's fine. Let's just go 85 just for conversation's sake, okay?
Cool.
Now, notice how everything on here changed. So we put in 85,000 as the desired goal. Let's give them a stretch goal of almost doubling that. Let's call it 160,000. Okay? This assumes a 2.75% commission rate. Now, yeah, there's 3% commissions out there, but every once in a while you're going to do a short sale. You're going to do a bank-owned property. You're going to do a piece of new construction where you're not going to get that. So 2.75 or 2.5. Now, ladies and gentlemen, those of you that aren't on the Hangout with us, if you know your actual commission number from last year, plug in your actual average commission number. Now, this is your team split or your broker split. So in this case, you're netting 40%. What this is basically saying is the listing volume, or if it's split 50-50, it would be half listing and half buyer, or buyer volume, but the total volume is basically 7.7 million. Right here on line 7, you plug in your average price. Now, if your average price is higher, your goals get accomplished faster. So watch if we just simply move this up to 300. Boom, we only got to sell 26. Now what happens if we're only selling little $150,000 bangers? I mean, just bangers. Whoa, we got to do 52 of them, okay? So let's go back to the 250. And are you guys seeing how just by simply monkeying around with these types of calculators, you can start to figure out what's going to happen? Now, your listing taken conversion rate. This says if you go on an appointment, 70% of the time you're taking it. Now, if you're new to the industry, maybe you're only going to get half of them. Okay? Okay? Oh, I didn't put it in as a percent. Whoops. There we go. 50. There we go. Notice how then you have to take 62 listings. And this is your appointment from, oops, I said that backwards, guys. Your listings conversion rate is the rate between which listings you take and which listings you close. If you're not closing 70% of them, then you're taking the wrong listings. But let's say you are a little bit new and you only get 60% of your listing appointments.
Yeah, a lot of people get confused with this. I was definitely when I saw this. It's buyers and sellers when it's a listing taken.
Yeah. So how would I list a buyer, Rylan?
Well, that's just the terminology everybody uses. So it's when a listing's taken, it's not just the seller side. Sometimes some people get confused with that because I was.
Yep. No.
I was
problem.
like, oh well, why do I need so many listings? But it includes both sides, buyer and seller.
And how we list a buyer is we get them under a buyer agency agreement or a buyer rep agreement, depending on the state that you're in. If you're working with buyers and you're not getting buyer agency agreements, shame on you.
Okay. Actually, I've never heard of that before, so that's really good to know. Nobody explained it to me that way.
Well, think about it like this, Rylan. For you to go get anything, check out a book at the library, you have to sign your name for a $5 book, okay? Or you got to get a card. But still, somewhere in there you signed your name and agreed to do something. Now, if I'm going to go sell you a $250,000 house, why wouldn't I make them sign their name and agree to work with me exclusively?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, the other thing to understand is now we're looking at the listing appointments per month, listing appointments per week. Now, 6 a month, 1.5 a week. Guess what? You can't have a half of a listing appointment a week. So this number becomes 2. You try to hit 2 every week. Guess what? If you're hitting 2 every week, you hit your stretch goal. Do you guys see that?
You know these little details are really good to know. I also, we put the like the partial number, but that makes total sense to round it up.
And you want to round it up unless you're a half a person that can go on a half appointment a week. But I thought we were whole people. Okay, now here's where it gets really funny. I want you guys see where this says contact to appointment ratio. Now, if you're just strictly calling random strangers out of the phone book, you're smashing internet leads, you're dialing FSBOs, dialing expireds, things like that, let's assume you've got a really low conversion ratio that's 1%. That means you would need to do 153 conversations a week. Now, let's just say you're a little bit better than the average bear, but you're still calling those people, and you're at 2%. Look at that. That's only 77 conversations a week. Okay, if you're 5%, most people aren't, you're a rock star. The only way, Rylan, what would be a way that we could get this conversion ratio up?
Yeah, well, we talked about at the beginning of this call, writing a personal touch handwritten note.
Yes.
And it's all about the follow-up. And the more personal touch you can put in the follow-up, the better. But also, you want to have multi-channels. Some people respond to text. Some people respond to social media. Some people respond to an email. Some people will respond to a video text or a video, where you're an expert type of thing.
Yeah.
So if you could go multi-channels and add a lot of personal touch to the follow-up, the numbers say that's how you increase the conversion rate. Plus, you practice.
Yes.
Repetition is the mother of all skills. So that's why we do these dialogues. You practice, you drill, you rehearse, and you just do it over and over and over again.
Yeah, you keep practicing, and the only other way that you're going to get higher conversion ratios is by changing the quality of the lead. So, for instance, if we're calling random strangers out of the phone book, we have a low conversion rate. If you're communicating with your friends and family, aka your sphere of influence, you could get a much higher conversion rate. Okay, just take these things into consideration as you're building your plans. I personally, because I like to smash the phones, I like to build ridiculous plans that are so ridiculous and so conservative that they scare you. And why do I build insane ones like this that says I need 184 conversations a week and 346 conversations a week? Why would I build such a conservative model?
Is that because you're a smasher?
Well, number one, yeah, it is probably because I'm a smasher. But number two, here's the deal. If I put in my mind this huge freaking goal of I need 184 conversations a week, and guess what? If I hit 184 conversations a week with a stupid low conversion rate, with me only getting 50% of the appointments I get on, with me only closing 70% of the stuff I get signed, I will destroy that number. And who wouldn't be happy destroying their goals and exceeding them by 20, 30, 50, maybe even doubling them? That's the point of when I personally do these models, I like to make the numbers a little bit ridiculous and scary. Otherwise, you have the opportunity to shortchange yourself and not rise to your full potential.
Well, I like the way that you guys do it, because sometimes when people smash the phone like that, right, they sometimes forget about the follow-up. Mm-hmm. But I know on your team that you guys kind of do follow-up first half of the call session. Calling prospects the first part of the conversation, and the second half is basically doing the follow-up piece.
Yeah, I was going to look to see if we actually put that in, but we didn't. So literally, I'm just going to write it right here off to the side. We call it the 4-hour work day for real estate. And very simply, it goes like this. at 8 a.m. in the morning, we do scripts. And you guys have seen our routine, and in another call we'll outline this a little bit better. And then at 8:45, they get noodle time. Noodle time is walk around, get ready. Do whatever you want. I don't care. Scripts is done. At 9 a.m., this is the start of lead gen. And that goes 9 a.m. to 10:30. And this is outbound calls. Okay? Oh, whoa, hey, it turned it into a date on us. Did you guys see that? 9 a.m. 2. Aha. And then from 10:30 to 11:30, this is strictly follow-up. Okay. The thing that people need to understand about lead gen is this is the most important. Okay? You have to always do the outbound. This is where you make all the money. Always do outbound. Money. This fills the pipe. This pushes them down the pipe. Then 11:30 to noon is going to be lead maintenance. Okay? And that is literally where you're in your CRM, like Livewire or Boomtown or whatever your CRM is. You're in the CRM making sure your action plans are launched, your follow-up is in there, your things are happening, and then you're done. Then after that should strictly be appointments. Okay? But if you simply do your scripts, get ready, that's the practice and repetition to help with this conversion rate over here. Because once again, watch this, guys. Simply changing this to a 2, drop that to 92 contacts. Okay? This is where that skill is honed. 15 minutes from 8:45 to 9 to noodle. Then the outbound communication. Then the follow-up, which is always the most important. Then the maintenance, and then go on appointments. All of this will then make you money.
One thing to add to that, we've been messing around with lately with follow-up, and sometimes it can take a little bit out of your afternoon follow-up, is I'll shoot a text 5-10 minutes after I talk to someone, and since I'm calling out of a dialer from our landline at work, I can actually still be texting on my phone and just do a quick, hey, this is Cameron. We just had a conversation an hour or two ago. You know, thanks for the time. Glad I got to meet you. I'll check in 2 weeks. The text thing you wouldn't think as much because people don't think business texting, but a lot of people will prefer that, and they respond quicker too. And sometimes they'll get that right back right away. Yeah, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Rather than sending an email that might wait in someone's inbox for 2 weeks before they even notice it. So that's been pretty effective so far.
Absolutely. Now, for everyone else, the thing to remember is the most often read, the quickest read, the highest response rate communication is a text message. Most text messages, according to cellular carriers, are opened within 8% or within 8 minutes of receiving them. 93% of all text messages are open.
Wow.
If we're not texting our leads, you're losing money. And oh, hold on, wait. Let's go over here. Your conversion ratio just went down. Now you got to make your 184 contacts.
Yeah, it's not necessarily about working hard. You got to work smart. You want to get your numbers up.
Yep. And then the thing to remember.
Difference.
The thing to remember that also helps with this conversion rate is during this follow-up, we talked about in the beginning, buy, sell, die, or get a restraining order. If you are not touching these leads need to be touched more than 10x. Okay? You need to touch them more than 10 times. You got to remember, leads show up as an A, B, C, or a D. Okay? If you're getting someone and they are right now a D, That means they could be 6 months to a year away. If you didn't follow up with them 10 times, you lost that business. The C, it's going to be doing business in 6 months. If you didn't follow up more than 10 times, you didn't get the C, you lost them too, which means you could only be left with the A's. Well, what percentage of the business is an A when it first comes to you? 1%, 2, 3, 4, 5? Okay, we're gonna.
Is it 3%? Is that the NAR number?
I
3 or
I
four
don't know.
percent?
Yeah, and I would say it's 1 to 5% of all the leads you get are an A who want to do business now. All the
Yeah.
rest are over here.
I think it was something like 3 or 4% was what the NAR statistic came up with on that. So the question is, right, if you spend $100 in leads, are 97 of your dollars dying an instant death?
All others equals 97. So
How would you like to waste $97 out of every $100 you spend?
this
Does
is
that sound
where,
good?
and yeah, this is where using that CRM, using that contact management tool